How's it guys, it's Davey, FPL, and welcome back to the Deadline with Davey live stream. This live stream is revolve around the double game week 23, the upcoming deadline, just under 55 minutes. Let me know if the audio and the video is sounding all good and we can get on to this deadline stream. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Saturday. For me, it's kind of midday Saturday, so I had a relatively relaxed Saturday morning. But if you guys are heading into the Saturday night, hopefully it's been a good Saturday. All good, says Harry Pratt, as usual. Thanks, Harry, for that. Let me just get the chat on the main screen. As you guys can see, one transfer was actually confirmed last night. I did Mahrez in for Mason Mount. I actually thought that Mahrez was going to increase in price. I didn't expect Mount to drop in price, so that was a little bit surprising. So made kind of 0.2 overnight, which was, as I said, a little bit unexpected. And if you guys did miss that move, a little bit unfortunate, but I think you still have money in the bank to afford it. So let me know if you guys can't afford it, and I will offer you some suggestions of alternatives, but I think most of you should be able to, as we had kind of like 3.3 million in the bank. So just note that the price you see this side is a little bit different now because I did bring in Mahrez. So I think it was about 0.3 difference. So currently we have 3.0 million in the bank. I just didn't have time to update it. So just forgive me for that one. But otherwise, everyone's saying it looks all good. Thank you. Got a few people in chat. I saw some questions at the start of the stream, so I'll go and answer those. Who to bench, Shaw or Estupinan? So who are Brighton playing? They have a good fixture as far as I know. I probably would play Estupinan over Luke Shaw, just because Crystal Palace are without Wolf Zaha, so I think they'll be a little bit hurt attacking-wise, and I think that Leeds score against United. That's why I've personally benched Luke Shaw, and I don't have any problem against that. Otherwise, everyone's just saying looks good. Thank you, I do appreciate it. Sky saying nice haircut. Thank you, I appreciate it. We do have a super chat. Would you go KDB if money wasn't an issue? Yes, I would go KDB if money wasn't an issue. If I could have done Mason Mount to KDB, I would have done that instead of Mahrez. Look, their stats are similar, but I think that KDB is more nailed for the future game weeks, so I would go him rather. The upcoming teams don't necessarily play a back three, which is where KDB tends to be rotated, whereas Mahrez, I'm not super confident, but I'm accepting the fact that maybe he doesn't start one game in the next three, and the fixtures are good enough for me to kind of go for. Hopefully it's the Arsenal game that he misses, because I'll be quite happy with that, and he plays like Bournemouth and Fulham, I think, upcoming, but I still think he should be fine for a certain amount of minutes. Let's say maybe like 100 minutes this game week, which I think I'll probably take. But yes, I would go KDB if money wasn't an issue, and thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Nice and early in the stream. Bench Shaw or Kyle Walker? Definitely bench Shaw. Play your Man City defenders, because I mean, maybe they play both games. Who kind of knows? Is it worth to take a -4 to take Doherty for Ake or another defender? So, Harry, who is your current playing defender? Because, like, who are you subbing out to put Ake in your team? Just let me know that, and then I'll be able to answer the question with a bit more context. Melvin saying, how are you, Davey? I'm good, and yourself? Actually, a relatively cold Saturday here in SA, or Gauteng. It's been very hot, so we've had a couple days of rain, so it's nice and cold. So I'm enjoying life at the moment because it's been pretty hot here. Got Matoma in for Almiron this week. Your thoughts? I'm fine with that. Obviously, I wouldn't say it's the most optimal move. I think if you could maybe go for a Grealish even, that might have been better. And the only reason for that is that obviously there is a blank game week 25 for Brighton. But if you look at it, they play in game week 27. So over the next kind of like 5 fixtures, you're getting a single game week every week anyways. So I can understand why you did it. I wanted Matoma in a couple of weeks ago, and I probably should have. But he's a great option, and Brighton are playing well at the moment. Hi bro, start Shaw or Bruno? Are you asking Bueno or Shaw? Or are you actually asking Bruno Fernandes, Rafa and Reza? Because if it's Bruno Fernandes, definitely play him instead. My advice for that game week is to use your chip. Okay, Optimus, I saw you said a question. Okay. I have to make a -12. Yes, I never even make a -4. Okay, so you're saying that you want to make it a -12 because your team is set up for the future. That's 100% fine. If you want to do that, any hit for future kind of plans is fine in my opinion, but just be very conservative with the projected points, I'd say. Is that your final team, Mark? No, it won't be. I'll be going probably for another -4. I think I'm going to take Martinelli to Saka. If it's Martinelli to Odegaard, I think it's a little bit closer for a hit, but I think Martinelli to Saka is a little bit of a no-brainer. The only thing for me that's hard is that if I go Saka, it blocks off Fernandes to Salah in a single move. And I don't know how great that is, because I might want to get Salah game week 25, but if I don't captain him, maybe I don't want him anyways. So yeah, it's currently what I'm contemplating around, and I could maybe do a switch on that one. Current player is Shaw. Okay, so you're playing Shaw, and you want to sell for Ake. I know I'm not telling you guys to play Shaw, but I still feel like he might be fine just playing. And there's a chance of a clean sheet, I guess. So you want to take a -4 to take a Doherty for Ake to bench Shaw. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I take a -4 for that. This week's not the best. I don't think they keep a clean sheet against Arsenal, but they might against Aston Villa. I think I'm fine with it, Harry, because Nathan Ake could potentially play game week 25. Rafa Reza saying, give a like to Master Davey. I'm not telling you guys that. Rafa Reza saying, if you want to like the stream, then go for it. Tarang saying, hi from Scotland. How's it going? It's going well here. Probably similar temperatures as Scotland. Actually, no, I think you guys are going to be much colder than us. We're on like 20 degrees. I think you guys are probably around the zeros, because apparently Europe's been pretty cold this week. How much left in the bank? Let me just go check to confirm. I've got 3 million left in the bank. So I do apologize. I haven't updated the graphic on stream, but I have 3 million in the bank. John saying, hi Davey, advice on an Almiron replacement, budget 8.7. I'm maxed on City and Arsenal players. So if you maxed on City and Arsenal players, I'll just keep Almiron this week. Just play him. He has Bournemouth away. It's a great fixture. Unless you do have 2 free transfers this week, John, just let me know that. Who would you bench? Matoma, Mitro, or Darwin? You'd probably say Darwin, but I might say Matoma. I know like a lot of you are bringing Matoma in this week, but I think Crystal Palace is a bit of a tough game at the moment. I don't think they're the easiest kind of pushover team. Liverpool are playing Everton though, so I'd probably play Darwin. I think I might bench Matoma. You guys might be like super angry at me for that, but yeah. Majed saying, hi, Ben White news. Ben White news is that I think that, to be honest, I think that Arteta's going to play the exact same starting 11 that he did against Everton. I don't think he's the sort of manager to like drop or make changes when one game goes wrong. The only thing about Ben White is that he might be subbed early, which is pretty much every game he's going to be subbed early, which isn't the worst thing in the world as a defender, because let's just say they lose the clean sheet after he's subbed off, you still have those clean sheet points. But I just worry that potentially against Man City he doesn't even play. I just think Tomiyasu might be better defensively, and he might be slightly worried about like a Grealish or someone like a Foden. So we might have some rotation there, but I guess it is Man City at the end of the day, so you're probably going to lose the clean sheet there anyways. It's just, I don't know if it's worth a -4 this week, maybe in the future, but if you have like a free transfer, I'm not super against it. I just don't know if I want to take a -8 to like replace 2 Arsenal sideways moves. I think that Martinelli to Saka is an upgrade, but White to Gabriel is an upgrade, but I don't think it's worth a -4 this week. Howdy from Rotterdam. Freezing here compared to SA. Yeah, so my manager works in the Netherlands, and he said it is very cold there. And because I was in Europe, I understand your guys' struggle now, because I've never experienced coldness. And it was like -5 or -8 in Germany, so it was pretty cold. Took a -8 to do Shaw, Mount, Martelli to Gabriel, Mahrez, and Saka. Okay, so Shaw to Gabriel, good move. Mount to Mahrez, good move. Martelli to Saka, good move. Joel, like that's perfect. That's when I would take a -8, because in my opinion, those are upgrades on all those options. So yeah, that looks 100% fine. So if you have what Joel has, you can do it. Okay, so Adrian's asking if he has Stones. Is Ake worth a -4? He'll play Shaw if he doesn't do the hit. So Stones doesn't play, which is fine, but I would say this isn't Stones to Ake, it's Shaw to Ake. So don't do Shaw to Ake, but I'm versing it like that in my head. A -4 for Ake this week. I think it's fine, because if Ake plays game week 25, you're golden. So I think I would do that, but just be prepared if Ake doesn't play blank game week 25, it wasn't worth a -4, but you don't know that in the future. So I think it's worth a -4, Adrian. I would do it. Or Adrian. I just moved to Rotterdam, so cold is hectic. Joel, did you study engineering, or did you just move for different? Because I have a lot of mates that moved to the Netherlands for engineering. Davey, is Rico Lewis worth the punt? I think that there's there's certain defenders that I'd probably go above him. I would say that Ake and Akanji are above Rico Lewis. But if you can only afford Rico Lewis and you find with that Man City triple up, then that's fine. But it's a punt, as you said, Shirav. It's not like the most guaranteed kind of thing, but yeah. I don't know. Don't worry, you can ask questions. I just won't. I won't repeat them in Afrikaans. But because I don't think everyone in the chat speaks, but you can ask them. I don't mind. Martinelli to Saka or Odegaard? I'd say Martinelli to Saka. I think I prefer Saka to Odegaard if you're going to do that switch. Would you bring in Bakaya Saka? Yes, Jivan, I would. I'm probably going to do it from -4 this week. Yeah, so did you do the you see 90 days where it's all the third world country people marrying the Americans and stuff. So you did that, Joel? No, but congrats on that one. I hope it goes well. And are you enjoying the Netherlands? Because I've heard it's pretty nice. Probably enjoying it over SA at the moment. Hey, Davey boy, sorry for being late. You're not late, Wilson. Don't worry. As long as you're here before the deadline, you're not late. Saka move still on. Yeah, -4 still on. I'm probably going to do that, to be honest, guys. So the moves I did, if you're joining late, I did Mount to Mahrez last night before the price rise. And I'm probably going to do Martinelli to Saka for -4. I don't think I'm going to do White to Gabriel for -4. I just think I prefer the Saka move. I can do both, but I just think the Saka move is better than the White move. That's why I'm doing that one instead of both. Any more transfers? Yes. So SH, as I just said, the Martinelli to Saka move looks pretty on. Would you keep Almiron or transfer a -4 for Martinelli? No, I wouldn't transfer to Martinelli. I would keep Almiron for that. KDB and Ake versus Mahrez and Grealish. KDB and Ake. Naveen. 6 blankers in my team for Game Week 25. Should I free it or hold? So this is the thing that you have to look for, because a lot of people are talking about using the free it in the blank game weeks, but just make sure that the fixtures on paper are good enough to use the free it. So if your Game Week 25 fixtures are looking dead, let's just say it's Nottingham Forest versus a Bournemouth, that's not a great fixture to kind of free it for. But if it's a team that you don't own that's playing a newly promoted side, then maybe that will be worth it. But yeah, I don't know. I think plan ahead. So if you guys haven't seen the Fantasy Football Fix, this video isn't sponsored by Fix, don't worry. This is my pure advice. But if you guys are using foreign websites and you use a computer or a laptop to do your transfers, just get the Google Chrome extension. It's perfectly free for this season. And you can then plan in the actual FPL website. So then what you can do is you can plan a few moves ahead. And by the time you come to blank Game Week 25, how many blankers do you actually have? Because, for example, I'll probably take out Shaw. I'll probably take out Fernandez. That's 2 players before Game Week 25 that I'll have added to my team. So just plan some future moves and then you can see what team you have. Captain locked in for Haaland. Yeah, Wilson, I'm not going to stray from the herd on this one. I mentioned this last week that I was tempted by Fernandez because I believed that there was a closer distinction between Fernandez and Rashford, whereas Mahrez, Haaland, KDB, Haaland, there's a big kind of distinction between those two. Haaland's a very much a talisman in that team. So yeah, I don't think I'll stray away from Haaland unless you guys really want to go Maverick and go differential. Mitro to Greenwood and Fernandez to KDB -4. Or Azpilicueta to Ake Kanji. Mitro, I like him this week, Espen. I think that Mitro's fine this week. But the Fernandez to KDB move does look quite nice. I think I might actually just stick with an Aspi to Ake Kanji move though. I think that might be slightly more worth it because Fernandez could bang this week, and I think Mitro and Fernandez look pretty strong. So I think I prefer the Azpilicueta move. Between Akanji and Ake, I think Akanji might slightly edge it, but yeah. Best defender to go for if budget is an issue. So Joffrey, that's the exact sort of question I've just had. I think it's between Ake and Akanji for me. I think I slightly prefer Akanji just because of that centre back slot. I think there might be less rotation. I don't know though. I think for the short term Akanji, but Ake for the longer term. It just depends on what long you want to have them. James saying, hi from an icy Norway. Take a hit to get Gabriella. Okay, if you want to get Gabriella 100%, yeah, so Gabriel and Kilman for Shaw and White. And bench Matoma. No, so I wouldn't bench Matoma. Don't take a hit for that. I would just keep Shaw and White and I'd play Matoma or Mitro. I don't think it's worth a -4 when Mitro and Matoma have good fixtures. Balunga saying, worth taking out Bruno and Martinelli for Odegaard and Saka for free. This would give triple Arsenal attack. I think it's fine this week, to be honest. I think for the future looks good, so I would do it. Especially because it is for free. So team news. Musafa, are you asking about my own team, or are you asking about early team news? Because the first fixture is Chelsea versus West Ham, so it's not that kind of a big of a fixture. But if you do want early team news, I'll check out Twitter maybe 50 minutes before and give you that info. But I don't really mind now because I don't know Mason Mount. Winston says, hi Davey, KDB for this game week is not nailed. I think he is nailed for this game week. I think he's nailed for double game week 23, and that's why I prefer him over on Mahrez or Grealish, that sort of thing. But you kind of never know with Pep Roulette, but I would say that he's probably going to start the next two. Miguel with a super chat, thank you, on a wild card. Worth Zinchenko over any other Arsenal. KDB over Mahrez, cheers. Yeah, KDB over Mahrez, and I would go Gabriel over Zinchenko. I think that Gabriel is the better option. To start two of, I would go with Badiashile. I think that's how you pronounce his name, but don't be offended if that's not. But I would start the Chelsea defender rather. To start on these two, I think that Leeds looked good enough in the midweek to justify not playing Luke Shaw. I think the best transfer is not for Man City defender, but for James, because he's going to play 25 and also very good in returns. The thing about James, though, is I don't think he starts every game from now to game week 28. I think he gets subbed some of the games. So yes, maybe if you're fine with that, but yeah, I don't know. I think in front of us, obviously, if you don't own an Arsenal defender, I would get one of them. The Man City defenders, I can understand the justification for that because they also won't start every game until game week 28. But yeah, I think I want to see more out of Reece James before I kind of look at him as an option. Triple captain, Haaland or save it for Saka game week 25. I probably would use it. If it's between those two game weeks, I would use it this week. But if you are open to using it further down the line, and I mentioned this in the chip strategy video, go check that out if you guys haven't. But if you don't have a bench boost, I would then be open to use it game week 34, 37. I think I might risk it for those later game weeks if you guys don't have a bench boost. But chances are you probably do because not many people have used the bench boost. Thoughts on Nunes to Nketiah? I like that move. Obviously, Nunes might be an option that we bring in the future, but I think for the guaranteed move, Nketiah is a great option to get in. I'm actually jealous of you guys if you do own Nketiah because I think he looks great. Feel bad for benching Matoma, but I don't know who else to bench from my starting 11. Okay, so you've got the back three, so we can't change that. Rashford, Mahrez, Bruno, 100%. Yeah, I think that's fine to bench Genghis. And I've said some people bench maybe Matoma because I don't think Crystal Palace will be the easiest fixture. And I think he's scored 3 goals off the only 3 shots he's had, which is an insane level of consistency. I might be completely butchering that stat, but I did hear something about that over on Twitter. That he's had 3 shots and he scored all 3. But I don't think it's a bad option to start. Don't get me wrong, but I think in terms of your team, it's just a no-brainer, I think. If you have Salah, would you sell him? I probably would sell him for De Bruyne this week, but you probably want to bring him in the future, so you might just keep hold of him. But I think if you have chances to look out for. Wilson, your team looks so good without Mount. But I'll tell you, I was editing my video and I was like, look, he won't watch the video. But I mean, imagine you a football player and you're like, hey, let me get some FPL advice. And Mason watches the video and I'm there just slating how I want to transfer him out. It's like, he would hate me for the rest of his life. So hopefully Mason isn't watching my videos because I said I'm very happy to get him up my team. Which, I mean, it's just in terms of FPL. It's nothing personal. It's just, unfortunately, he hasn't been having a great season. But yeah, Wilson, thanks. The team does look good, and I think it'll look even better with Saka in the mid. Harry, Davey, lad, I hate my team. Harry, if only there was a chip, brother, that could change your entire team. But I don't think I'd wildcard this week. Surely it's not that bad. What are your latest thoughts on Martinelli to Saka? Personally, it's good because... Yeah, so G-Ball, I'm on a similar kind of way. The only thing that's a little bit, not annoying, but that might hinder is that with Jota coming back into the lineup, I was potentially going to go Fernandes to Gakpo, but now with Jota, I just worry that Gakpo's a rotation risk. So it's almost like Salah or bust, and that's why I think that maybe potentially, but I wouldn't captain Salah anyway, I don't think. Are you really going with Mahrez? Kenneth, I was hated to break it to you, but yes, I've transferred him in last night, so I'm pretty much stuck with him. Is Mahrez safe? Have one free transfer to bring Arsenal defender Saliba. So Mahrez isn't safe, but I think he's worth the punt. I mean, any Man City mid isn't super safe, but the ceiling is super high on them. And if you have one Arsenal defender, it would be Gabriel, in my opinion. Thoughts on Walker? I don't know. I mean, he might play one game, but I don't know if he'll start both. Should I remove Bruno and Mitrovic for Kane and Matoma from -4? I don't think I'd look at bringing... I know Kane's a great option this week, but I don't think he's a priority for me. I'd prioritize maybe banking it and using it in the future. Mitrovic has a fine fixture this week, so I would probably wouldn't do that -4. Bring in KDB for Bruno. Would make it a -12. Should I wait a week? I don't want to make you do like all these hits, but for me, Bruno to KDB does look like a transfer that could pay off in the future. I think that I would probably do it. The only thing that might put you off is that if you want to go to Salah in game week 25 anyways, it's not only a -4, it's there for a free transfer as well. So that's the only thing. You have to kind of look at it as, will Fernandes over the next 2 plus -4, or like +4 points, plus a free transfer, outscore KDB over the next 2. So I don't know. I don't know if you put it like that. I think I might just stick with Fernandes, to be honest. But if you don't want to bring Salah in, then I would do KDB. So just look at your future plans, Joel. And if you want to bring in KDB, or you want to bring in Salah, then don't do it. But if you don't want to bring in Salah, then do it. Just ask it again if I went too quickly. I think it could be Carol or Carl, but so I do it. But you say, does your name mean anything? Yeah, it means it's coming home. So it's just like a different language, I guess, for it's coming home. Like, you know, the British, like the England saying it's coming home. It's basically that. Triple captain Haaland, Davey, what will you do? Calvin, I think I would triple captain this week if I was you, unless you don't have the bench boost. If you don't have the bench boost, then I'd probably hold it for the later doubles. But I think that you do it now if you have the chance. Would you play triple captain? Yeah. So Joffrey, I'd probably play it this week. The best scenario, as I said in the stream, is I would have played it last week. And that's why I was quite bullish on using it on Rashford, and that's why I advised you guys to do it. But now in hindsight, I guess you can't go back. So I think that Haaland's a fine option. He just has the best 8 points because that was my triple captain. Is it worth a -4 for Martinelli to Odegaard? Oscar, I think it will be in the long term, but I think you might have to wait a bit. Like, you might have to wait a few game weeks. I think that Martinelli to Saka makes more sense for -4, but Odegaard's just a little bit less of an FPL asset, so I think it's still worth it. Woke up feeling reckless. Thoughts on Mount and Bruno to Mahrez and KDB? So Harry, those moves look perfectly sensible in my opinion. But if those are free okay, but for -4, so thank you for correcting. It's the same thing that I was mentioning now, is like Bruno to KDB isn't as cut and dry as like a double game week. You're not going to captain KDB, so that eliminates that factor. So what you have to look at is, now you're taking a -4 hit for it. But what I would say is that I don't think Mount starts, so you could argue that Mount to Mahrez is your -4, and Mount won't play, so that's 2 points less, so then it's a -2. So in your case, you can argue both ways, but if you're arguing Mahrez to KDB for a -4, just remember, if you want to get Salah in game week 25, that's an extra free transfer you'll have to use on top of it, so just keep that in mind. Andy appearing, saying Martinelli, Almiron, Cucurella to Saka, Mahrez, Gabriel, -8. Yeah, Martinelli to Saka, upgrade. Almiron, Mahrez, that's fine. And Cucurella to Gabriel's an upgrade. Yeah, I think it's worth the -8. Game week 25, Saka's easy fixtures, and it looks good for the triple captain, which you considered. So I'm fine with it, but the thing about Arsenal is that the points are usually split between them. So you have an Odegaard, you have a Martinelli / a Trossard, you have a Saka, you have an Nketiah. All 4 of those could score, whereas with Man City, if they score, chances are Haaland's involved. And that's why he's more of a talisman, and that's why I said that he's a better FPL asset. And that's why for me, even though the fixtures are a little bit tougher this week, probably a lot tougher with Arsenal, I believe that he's the better triple captain because everything that City does from a goal scoring point of view should go through him. But if you want to go for a more differential, I think that Saka's much more differential of a triple captain. If Liverpool are going to play in game week 28, there's a very good idea too. Yes, it is, but we won't know that until after game week 25. Because game week 25 is going to be the quarterfinals of... No, it's the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Am I wrong there? the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. So whoever wins that blanks in 28, and Leeds and Fulham play in that fixture. So we won't know if they have a fixture in 28 until after 25. So that makes it a bit tough, and that's why everyone wanted Fulham to lose to Sunderland in the midweek, because then Liverpool are guaranteed to play 28, but now they're not. I can't afford Mahrez. What am I going to do? You can go for Grealish, or what you could do, which is super spicy, you can take White to whoever you want, and you can take Mount to Saka, but you probably won't be able to afford that either. So if you can't afford Mahrez, you probably won't be able to afford Saka. So then I would just go Grealish. Thanks, my guy. Everyone get liking 30-ish likes and nearly 300 people. 10% is a bit low. So if you are enjoying the stream, you can like it. It does help me out on the algorithm a bit more. If you guys don't know that, likes and comments help the video become more published on the algorithm. So yeah, if you're ever watching a video, feel free to comment and like if you do enjoy it. Not just for me, for any content creator you do enjoy. So it's a good idea to have Salah and one solo play. Yeah, so that's why I can still get Salah for Fernandes. I just have to downgrade Kane, which I don't know if that's the best move, but yeah. Can't do Martinelli to Saka. Okay, then do Martinelli to Odegaard. Can you do that? Otherwise, just keep Martinelli. I said this on my Discord server to the legends. I said that this is one of those weeks where if you wake up after the deadline, it might actually be worth it, because Martinelli might outperform Odegaard, Martinelli might outperform Saka. So if you still have Martinelli in your team, you're probably happy. It's like these moves aren't no-brainers, for example. They could actually end up backfiring. Sell Martinelli for Saka. Yeah, baby, that's pretty much what I'm looking to do in about 28 minutes. Oh, no, I won't do it with 28 minutes to go. I'll do it with about 10 minutes to go, probably. But yeah, I'm pretty much locked in on doing Martinelli to Saka. I'm just waiting for any team news that we do get. Nketiah might outperform. I think Nketiah will. I think Nketiah is the best option to own from Arsenal attackers. KDB to Mahrez. No. Lohman Jr. and Kunal, you're both asking KDB to Mahrez. No, keep KDB. If you have Mahrez, you keep him. If you have KDB, you keep him. Start Bueno or Shaw. So who do Wolves play? Wolves play Southampton. It is an away game. I'll probably play Shaw. I just trust their defense slightly more. But yeah. -4 for Bruno to Mahrez. I don't know if I'd do Bruno to Mahrez for -4. I think I'd do Bruno to KDB, but I'd only do Bruno to KDB if you don't want Salah in Game Week 25. I think I might switch KDB for Salah. Yeah, so that's what most people are doing, but I think that's if you already have KDB. If you don't have KDB now, it's a little bit of an interesting debate to go for. Sky saying there's no way Trossard is making... No, if I don't want to have Martinelli, I don't want Trossard either. Because I think those two are like rotation pairs. Yes, Trossard could actually play up front, could play on the right, could play on the left, could play in the midfield. But I think that it's more sensible to sub him for Martinelli. So maybe if you have Martinelli and you want Trossard, you can double up because one of them will start. But I think that's a bit counterproductive. KDB captain over Haaland for differential. It depends how far you are. But I would be very careful about going against Haaland this week. To me, it doesn't make sense unless you like very far in the rankings. Pedro saying, what's up? I'm hoping I'm not late to join the party. The party carries on until the deadline. So Pedro, you're never missing the party unless you hear after deadline. So don't worry, you're not late. If you want some updates on transfers, I did Mahrez in for Mount last night, and I'm probably going to do Martinelli to Saka for -4. Any team news? We'll have it start. Okay, so I can go check Twitter for you guys, but it might be slightly too early to get early team news. We usually get it with about 10 to 5 minutes to go. But it doesn't look like we have any news as of now. Doesn't look like we have any news as of now on potential early team news. Just a lot of people posting their teams. Yeah, a lot of interesting moves. A couple of triple captains being played. I mentioned this on the poll. If you guys are triple captaining, let me know. Currently, we have 18% saying yes, 23% saying no, still have the chip, and 59%, like myself, that are saying already used the chip. Okay. So hopefully you guys did use it last game week and not in game week 20 like myself. Optimus Prime saying no news. I forgot, Optimus, that you're in the chat. You'll always update us if we do get anything new. Will saying, how's it, everyone? My bench is tragic this week. And have one Basaka at the back. Who should I bring in from -4? Also thinking of future weeks too. So if you're benching them this week, Will, I wouldn't take a -4. Unless you're super worried about potential rotation. But if your starting 11 looks fine, which it probably should be, then I don't know if I would take a -4. I think that might be a little bit counterintuitive to just take a -4 to bench an option. Just save the transfer then. How about Alvarez this week? So Winston, I don't know about Alvarez. I think he might be too much of a rotation risk. I like him as a player, but not as an FPL asset. But I mean, if he starts, any Man City player that starts has a potential for massive points. That's what I will say, especially from an attacking point of view. Martinelli out for Odegaard and Anthony for Saka for -8. What I would say, switch it around. Say Martinelli for Saka and Anthony for Odegaard, because then it looks a lot better. Because I would say Martinelli to Saka is definitely worth it, and Anthony, who probably won't play, to Odegaard is worth it. So I think that looks slightly better for the -8. But yeah, I think I'd probably do that. But you could also just do Anthony to Odegaard for -4 and just bank it. But I think it's worth the -8. Where can we get an updated fixture predicted chart? So Fami, do you want the ones that were in my chip strategy video? Because then just go to Mikkel Tokfam. Otherwise, go over to Ben Krellin over on Twitter, and he will have his updated schedule. I have nothing on the bench to come on if Wan-Bissaka is rested. Oh, okay, so Wan-Bissaka is in your team. I thought he was on your bench. Okay, if you want to take out Wan-Bissaka, can you bring in an Arsenal option? That's the best. That's kind of the best scenario. Otherwise, maybe you can go for Man City asset. Just tell me what your triple ups are looking like. Will, give me some context, brother. I need the full picture. No worries, Gid. Is Martinelli to Odegaard really worth it for it? I think it's closer than Martinelli to Saka. What I will say though is I think that move can wait a week, because Martinelli, I believe he plays Brentford. As I mentioned, I don't think that Arteta rotates that team at all. And then he has Man City, and Man City, if they keep a clean sheet, it could be a 2-point appearance for Martinelli. So you're getting the Brentford game, which is kind of the one you want from an Arsenal point of view. So this move can wait a week if you guys do want to go for it. Hey, Davey, can you check the latest transfer thoughts in the Discord? I'll check Discord a little bit later when I update. I don't have it on my I didn't start on my PC at the moment, so I don't want to bring it up yet. Thoughts on bringing Saka for Bruno for a -4? Saka for Bruno for a -4. I'm not super against it because you probably want Saka long term anyways. It's an outside punt that I think could potentially work. I've checked the Discord on my phone and I can't see anything. Ace. I forgot that I had my phone in front of me, sorry. Wan-Bissaka, White, and Trippier at the back, and I already have 3 Arsenal assets. Patterson, Doherty on the bench. Sorry for half the info, bro. No worries. Patterson, you keep. Doherty's a bit of a sus one. But I agree. Wan-Bissaka is probably not the most reliable option to own this week. I'd say, do you have Man City assets? Do you have a triple up on them? Because that could be a play. Are you transferring out Martinelli and White this game week? Nikhil, probably only Martinelli. I can understand the White move, but I don't know if I'll do it this week from -4. Yeah, it's just, I think it might be a slightly too sideways in a week that I think Arsenal concede in both games. Here we go. Okay, Bruno fully signed. Okay, so you don't have -12, but I think -12 looks pretty strong, Joel, so that's fine. Sell Martial for Kane or Mitrovic. Andrew, this move to me is deeper than just this week. I would look at your future plans. For example, if you want to get Salah in next week or the week after, you probably want to go Mitrovic then, so you can upgrade a midfield department. So just make sure that you have future plans in place. But obviously, if you're asking me for like the medium term, it's going to be Harry Kane. But the price difference is too much for me not to incorporate the price difference, if you know what I'm saying. Any early team moves before we lock in the Saka move? I'll check in about 5 to 10 minutes. Second defender from Man City besides Akanji or Edison. If you can get Edison, go for him. Otherwise, Akanji. So Cucurella to Gabriel or Nonto to Nketiah. Also, next best. Andy, can you do both? Because if you can do both, then that's what I would do. Even though it's for a hit, I think that those moves are worth it from -4 or -8 or whatever. It is in the suggestion channel of Discord. Oh, okay. So I didn't get a notification. I'll check Ace. I'll check now. Play Sanchez or Kepa. Sanchez or Kepa. I'd play Sanchez. No. That one's super close. What are the clean sheet odds? Dave, any news from Chelsea? Going to be 3 to 4 minutes. Yeah. So that's what Optimus Prime is saying. So if you guys are worried about early Chelsea team news, we only should get it with about 5 minutes to go. So it might be quite tough. I can't afford Saka. Should I keep Martinelli? Yes, Kevin. If you can't afford Saka, then just keep Martinelli. Josh saying Almiron to KDB and Kane to Nketiah from -4. Those moves look pretty strong. I won't lie to you. I think I probably would do that. -12 for both. I think so. Wait, just who would you bench if you do those moves? If Nonto is currently in your starting 11 and Cucurella is in your starting 11, then do it. But if they're not, then you could get away with not doing one of them. So did you say Sanchez or Kepa? Between those two, it's tough. What are the clean sheet odds? Let me go check on Twitter for you. Game week, what's it, 23? Clean sheet odds. Okay, so we have it's literally Brighton and Chelsea are tied for 38%. Maybe this one's a bit different. Okay, let me go and maybe check. FPL Salah usually posts them. Okay, no, he's done anytime scorers. Okay, clean sheet odds. Yeah, so Brighton and Chelsea are tied. Okay, let me just check something for you and then I'll tell you who to play. Confirmed blank game week 28. Yeah, there's definitely going to be blanks in game week 28. We just don't know exactly for who. Are you from Cape Town? No, I'm not from Cape Town. I'm from Gauteng, so Joburg. Dome saying sure, bro. Are you saying like hi or are you just saying sure? Play Mitrovic or Botman. I play Mitrovic. I always play the attacker. Okay, so you wanted game week. Okay, so Kepa slightly edges it. If you're between Kepa and Sanchez, that's what I'll say. Akash has been a legend for 6 months, half a year. Thank you, I do appreciate it. Bench Almiron or Shaw, bench Luke Shaw every day of the week. I'm not super cold on Almiron yet, and especially if it's a decision like that. Thanks, I appreciate it. No worries. Shaw, White, Trippier, or James. Whom to bench this week? I'd play White. I'd play Trippier. I'd probably bench Shaw. I'd play James. That's what I'd say. No worries. Bruno to Odegaard is a no-brainer, right? Next, I'd bring Kane with the money. No. It's not a no-brainer because you're probably thinking about Bruno to Salah next week or the week after. So it's not that much of a no-brainer. I would say maybe if you want to get Saka in there, it would be better. But otherwise, I don't know. Tony to get and Martinelli to Odegaard this week. I would do the Tony to Nketiah move, and those moves look fine, but the Martinelli to Odegaard one's a bit harder. Sell Shaw for James, and then bench who? Who would I bench if I bring in James? Would you consider captaining Mahrez over Haaland? No, unless Mr. Someone, if you super far in the ranks, then maybe. But it's a big punt. It's a big punt to captain Mahrez. You think Martinelli to Odegaard is worth the -4? I think it is, as long as you're prepared to be patient on it. I've always said I think that Martinelli to Saka is a bit of an easier no-brainer, but I think that Odegaard could still do well. But yeah, let's with about 15 minutes to go here, let's lock in the Saka move, because I don't think we're going to get early team news on Arsenal anyways. So I think we might as well just go for it. Is a Valentine's Day braai on the cards? I don't know. I do play FPL, so probably not. But, maybe if we make some moves. What about Cucurella to Ake, Fernandes to Saka, and Mount to Mahrez from -8? Those moves look fine. I'd say that you could also keep Fernandes and just do Mount to Saka and Cucurella to Ake. That might be worth more than might be better for a -4. Because I think Fernandes might still do well. Prioritize Arsenal defense or Martinelli to Saka. I'd prioritize getting one of their defenders in. If you don't have an Arsenal defender, that takes preference. I think that Martinelli to Saka is a luxury move. Tony to Mitrovic for free funds for Martinelli to Saka. So when do Brentford have the double? They have the double in 27. Do Brentford blank in 25? So Brentford aren't on here, hey. So they do blank, right? Am I right in saying that? Then I would say that that's fine to do. You probably get Tony in later. But Mitrovic should be an okay option. But I would say if you can get Nketiah in rather than do him, Mohamed. Make your moves. Yeah, let's. Sorry, I got distracted. Just Tom, I think you guys can see the transfer page. Okay, cool. We've got the image right on here. So we're gonna do Martinelli out. How much money do we have on Martinelli? Damn, he's 6.6. We're losing a chunk of change there, but it's fine. And then let's go for Saka in. Sorry, the mic is just blocking the screen, so that's why it looks a little bit weird. Okay, and then let's make this move. Martinelli out for Saka in. We're going to confirm a -4 hit. So yes, we are taking a -4 going into game week 23. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be the final team for this game week. So I'm going to just quickly... the other move was Mahrez in for Mount. So I'm just going to quickly post this over on the Discord server as well as on the YouTube community page. Just be patient with me, but don't worry, we'll be doing a quick fire round for the last 10 minutes because I'm pretty fine with how the team is looking. There's not too much stress in this one. But let me know what moves you guys are making. In the bank is now going to be 1 million in the bank. So we have cut our losses quite a bit, guys. I won't lie to you. Martinelli has taken away a lot of our budget. Okay, cool. Let me just copy this and then create a post. Okay, cool. So we are done. Let's go over to your questions so that we can answer all of them. Is Mudryk playing? Let me check Twitter for you guys, but Optimus Prime hasn't said anything, so I'm pretty sure there's been nothing as of yet. Okay, no, we haven't had anything as of early teamers, but I will check a little bit closer to the deadline for you guys. Would you play Walker, Shaw, or Kilman for -4? Would you play Walker? I'd play Walker. But I don't understand the -4, D1. Ake or Kanji? I slightly prefer Kanji for the short term, but I prefer Ake for the longer term. I think I would probably go for a Kanji, though, if I was to make a move this week. So Saint, you're also asking that. I would say a Kanji. Triple captain, Haaland or hold. I would do it this week unless you don't have your bench boost. Then I would use it in the future. Boss, make the -12. Bring James and Nketiah for White and Kane. So you're going to be perfect with later on. Bring Salah. I could do that, but I think that Kane against Leicester is going to be an absolute beast. Let's just hope. I'm holding thumbs that Kane's scoring record continues against Leicester. Would you start Cucurella or Luke Shaw? I would start Cucurella and then just hope that he doesn't get benched and then come on. Felix for Tony for a free. Tapello, I don't think I would do that. I would do it for Nketiah, but not for Felix. Why not Vice Captain Saka? Yes, thank you for that. That's why I do these live streams. I do these live streams because you guys give me advice as well. So Frederick Essien, thank you for that comment, brother. I do appreciate it. Saka will be our vice captain. Odegaard for Martinelli, Fernandes to Mahrez for free. Can you do KDB rather? I prefer KDB instead. Let me just... I'm just posting that I've done Saka vice captain. No news yet. Okay, so differential captain, asked Mikhail. I have Mahrez, Nketiah, and Odegaard and Haaland. Have to climb in ranks. If you have to climb in the ranks, I probably would say Nketiah. That's my pick. I think that Mahrez is too much a rotation risk, so I would say go for Nketiah. Is Martinelli still okay if I can't afford Saka? Yes. Nesu, Martinelli is fine to keep. I don't think he's a transfer out necessarily, and that's why for me Martinelli to Odegaard is so tough, whereas Martinelli to Saka is like a no-brainer, I guess. Not really a no-brainer, but it's a good move, I'd say. Whereas Odegaard's, it's a tougher one. Should I do Mahrez for Bruno or James to Akanji? Mahrez for Bruno or James? I do the Akanji move, but James could still bang. Differential captain. Okay, so Mikhail, I answered that question already. So just let me know if that looks fine. Are you transferring out Shaw next week for Wolves or Everton defender? What I'll probably do is I'll bank a transfer next week, just so that we have some more information going into blank game week 25. So the team looks fine for next game week, and then I'll probably use 2 free transfers in blank game week 25. So I don't think I'll do it next week, but Shaw out is definitely on the horizon for a Wolves or Everton defender probably. What about Sancho? I wouldn't touch Sancho this week or any United assets bringing them in, unless maybe it is Rashford, just because of the blank game weeks coming up. Let me know when early team use is out. I will let you know if early team use is out. But as of now, I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see any early team use, but I will check. But yeah, nothing as of yet. Bruno to KDB for a -4. If you want to bring Salah in for KDB in the future, I don't know if I'd go for that. Vince is saying electricity outages. Yes, we currently have load shedding like stage 4. More importantly, Bruno to Mahrez for a hit worth it. No, Vincent. I would say maybe for KDB for a hit, but I don't think Mahrez for a hit. Start Andreas or Mbumo. Brentford play Arsenal, Andreas. I'd start Andreas, especially if you have an Arsenal defender. I think it's gonna be a tough game for Brentford. I don't think they necessarily won't score, but I don't know if it's the best selection. Akshat saying, okay, so I'd say the rank is tough because I think I've seen massive strides being made like in FPL during the second half of the season. Like if you are sitting at like 500k, you could still get a top 10k, but you have to like nail every decision. But I would say it just depends on, it's like a very situational thing. A good rank is like whatever you think is a good rank, kind of. I know it's like a very cop-out answer, but I could be like 100k and I'm not happy with my rank because it's not 10k. But you could be super happy because you never finished in the top 1 million. So I would say just maybe like not 5 or 6 million, but there might be some of you that are there, which is fine. Just, it depends all on what your expectation is. Cucurella or Shaw out for Gabriel. What you do is you take out Shaw, because Andy Shaw blanks in 25, whereas Cucurella might play. So then you are giving yourself one extra player. This season, your decision, just too different from my selection. Hope all going well. 100%. I mean, that's the beauty of FPL, is our decisions can be very different from each other. So I hope that you're enjoying the game still. My decisions haven't been that great this season, but you know, we move, we work on them. How are you planning on bringing in Salah? I'll bring in Salah for Fernandes and probably drop Kane if I want to bring Salah in. Otherwise, I might just go without him. I don't think Salah in is a necessity, I'd say, for 25 yet. And I watch Liverpool every week, so I know how badly they're playing. Is there any other triple captain in the future weeks? Yeah, so KH, any double game week, I can use a triple captain. I'd say game week 29, game week 34, game week 37. But game week 29, you might want to use a chip. Game week 34, you might want a bench boost. So that leaves game week 37, which is the end of the season, which might not be too optimal because you might have rotation, that sort of thing. So I would say if you don't have a bench boost, I would do it in the future. But if you do have a bench boost, I'd probably do it this week and do it on Haaland. Start Bruno or Matoma. I'd start Bruno. -4 Marte to Odegaard, already did Almiron. So I think if it was my team, I would do it, but I think it's very close. Ferguson or James for this week. So Brighton play Crystal Palace. James plays West Ham. I'd play James, Mohammed. Best Arsenal defender, Gabriel, 100%. That's an easy one. Do you think Havertz will start? He's predicted to start. We have 4 minutes to go, but I haven't seen any early team news. But I'll refresh for you quickly and see with 4 minutes to go, I don't see anything. Yeah, with 4 minutes to go, I don't see anything. Keep Cancelo, says Andrew. I mean, if you think he's going to be a good asset, maybe if like Man City get absolutely donked by Villa and Arsenal, and then maybe Cancelo's the play to go for because he's on 0 points, whereas Ake's on like -3. Luke Shaw, Almiron in the bench. I'd bench Luke Shaw. Is getting a Kanji in worth a -4? Depends on who you're taking out and who you'd bench. I did the transfer, yes. I did the transfer of Shaw in for Martinelli. Botman to Ake for a free transfer. No. For a free transfer. Yeah, not for a hit, for a free transfer maybe, but the thing about Newcastle is that you probably I'd say probably worth it for free, especially if your team is looking fine. Would you captain Mahrez and trying to catch up in the mini league or stick with Haaland? If you're trying to catch up with a mini league, then you go Mahrez, but it depends on how far you're trying to catch up because you don't only have to catch up from a captain. Yes, it's the easiest opportunity because captain points are doubled. So if you take a punt and it pays off, it's almost like doubling your chance of improving. But I don't know. Thanks as always for the quality stream. Hope everyone's chances pay off. Thanks, Harry. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, brother. Hope it's a good one. Nothing says Optimus Prime, so yeah, I'll refresh as well with 2 minutes to go. But this is gonna be the last refresh. I won't check again if we haven't got anything. Yeah, I don't see anything, to be honest. Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna get early team news for Chelsea, unfortunately, guys. But I would just assume whoever you have plays because who kind of knows with all those options. Differential captain, Nketiah. Yeah, Winston, if you want a differential captain, I'll probably go Nketiah. And what transfers I made? Today I made the Saka in for Martinelli, but last night I did the Mahrez in for Mount. Start Shaw or Botman. I'd go Botman. Perisic or Shaw. Perisic, if he's predicted to play. Saka captain, yeah, he's also fine tallest. Start Fernandes or Matoma. Start Fernandes. Play Trippier or Shaw. Play Trippier. KDB and a 4.5 defender in. Fernandes and Walker out for -4, or I'll just go for Fernandes to Saka, probably, yeah. Grealish going to be a surprise package this game. Yeah, his stats look pretty strong. And if you guys can't afford Mahrez, a nice little alternative if you want to go for him. But we have 1 minute to go, so please make sure that the team selection is finalized so that you can get over the line here, because with 1 minute to go, we're going to lock in quite soon. Start Shaw or Dunk. I'd probably say Shaw because of the attacking threat. But in terms of Devon Little, I'd start Andreas probably in your selection there. Triple captain on Haaland, yes, I would, especially if you don't have the bench boost, especially if you still have the bench boost. Saka and Nketiah, if you only can do one, I'd do Nketiah. He looks better than Saka at the moment. Can't afford Odegaard and Nketiah though. I do Odegaard and Nketiah, but I forgot your moves, Andy. Sorry that you're doing, so I don't know if it's worth the extra hit now. Play Cancelo or Solanke. I'd say slightly on Solanke for the banter. Akil, thanks. Hope you have a great weekend too, brother. Thanks for dropping by. Other questions are your bank. I've 1.0 million left in the bank because the two transfers I did this week were Mahrez and Saka in for Mount and Martinelli. And that's going to be the deadline, unfortunately, guys. So the clock has striked. We are at the point of no return. Double game week 23, will it be a good one? Will it be a bad one? I'm hoping for a good game week. We are on a -4 hit, so we are starting the game week at a deficiency, but I'm hoping that the chances in this week will improve that significantly, and we still end game week 23 on a green arrow. But hopefully you guys got your chances in, got your captain selections in. I hope that you guys have a safe weekend, and as I always say, hopefully the green arrows are in your favor. But I'm going to sign off with Davey FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.